Hey everyone, it's Becky. I just have some swap items that I made for Becky Long and Marla Rizzo that I wanted to share with you guys. It's been a long time since I've done a video. I've been really busy with life, so I kind of only get like an hour to craft every day. So it's taken me like 4 months, I think, 5 months to get this all done. But it's quite a bit. And I put both Marla and Becky's stuff that I'm sending them instead of doing separate videos because I did a lot of the same things for each of them. So I think it would be easier just to do one video, but I'll try and hurry and get through it. Let's see. The first thing I'm going to share, I think, is my cards, and I got this off Pinterest. This is not my idea. I kind of did this last minute, but I knew I wanted to use the Crazy Birds because I just got that stamp. And then I've had the flowers for a while from doing the Tim Holtz tags. So I watercolored with the distress markers. So I kind of colored it the way the girl, and I'll put the link to the pin below. I think she did it for Simon Says Stamp. And her blog was titled Life Happens, which this is kind of like a perfect title for this swap in my card. So I kind of scrap lifted that. So anyways, I did the techniques that kind of Tim Holtz shows you how to do for the tags with the watercolor. I just spritzed with the marker spritzer, and then I wet it. And then I heat set it to kind of give it a blue background. I don't know if it's picking it up. And then that is just Puma Stone or something like that. I colored that, and then just used various distress markers and my watercolor pen. The little pens that you can put water in them and, you know, kind of go through. And then I put some Spanish moss and some cheesecloth. And then behind this is the watercolor paper from Tim Holtz, the top. And then underneath is the Coordinations cardstock, I think it's called, and then Recollections corrugated card. And then that's my mat for the inside to write on. It's a pretty simple card. They're both about the same. Oh, I forgot to put the bow on this one. This one's got a bow, but I don't know what happened to it. I probably set it down on top of it and forgot to glue it on, but this is that Tim Holtz trims. So I better put the bow on that, find it. And then the next thing I made was some Christmas ornaments, because this is actually a Christmas swap. That's why there's so much stuff. It's supposed to be like a 12 days, but I didn't get mine done. But I still want to do it. So, because I had it like halfway done. And so I don't like not finishing stuff. So there's these little Christmas ornaments, and all I did was put some beads inside. Some pink beads and white beads, and then some pearl trim and just a piece of trim. And then these flowers are from Craft Supplies for You. And then this trim is just some trim that I had in my stash. I don't know. I feel like my video's like washed out until I like get it up on my computer, and then it's a lot darker than I think. And then that's the same trim that I have on the inside. It's just a hanger. And then this one's got some like silk flowers from Craft Supplies for You. But it's got all the same stuff otherwise. And then I made some handmade flowers. Let me just share with you guys really quick. So this, I just used some trims from Craft Supplies for You. This is an applique, a pink applique. Let me show you really quick. From Craft Supplies for You, and it comes like this. So I just cut like a piece of it off, and just rolled it up and made the flower center. So this is what the applique looks like if you get it from Craft Supplies for You. And I just cut a piece of it out and then just use different flower centers and eyelash trim. That's a rosette. I think it's Jolene's. And then this is just trims from my stash. As well as this one, I just put pearls. And then this one, I just cut. Made it out of like white material and then cut it and kind of shabbied it up and put a center in that one. So there's that one. And then the other one I made, show you. Oh, on the white one I was just showing you. Didn't get the bag open. There we go. The white one that I was just showing you, like this one, I stamped the fabric with my like music note stamp with archival ink, and then eyelash trim and a little center. This is a Prima flower. I just put in some lace. And I think this one's the same as the other one I made. And then this one's got doilies, and then I tried to do the whole knot thing. I don't know if it worked out. It's just ribbon and I tied a knot in it and then glued it. Just to try to make petals, I guess. So there's that one. There's the handmade flowers. And then, I made these a long time ago, and I'll post a link to the video below, but I'm sending these to Becky. They're my little hearts. And so I'll post a link because I talk about how I made those. I won't talk about them again. And then this I made for Marla. It's a little matchbox dresser, and I made the matchboxes by hand, and it was a nightmare. So they're a little crooked. I should have just went to the dollar store and bought some, but I was being stubborn. I don't even know why. And then I put chipboard for the sides and top and bottom. These are just white beads from my stash with bead caps from Craft Supplies for You. And then these are Prima Junkyard Findings, I think is what the brand is. I'm not sure. And then I put a little mirror. I got the template for the inside and the outside from a tag that I had. And I just traced it out on cardstock and then off the pattern paper and put it down. And then that's a gorgeous girl that I got from Marla. And then I put some filigrees down and made some little tiny perfume bottles. And then that's a butterfly I just cut out of the pattern paper, and I don't remember what paper I used because I made this so long ago, but I've just put glossy accents on it. And I honestly don't remember what paper this is. And then I just did the insides. The little drawers are made just out of black cardstock. And then the chipboard I painted with a black marker. So I did pretty good on that one that time. Usually you can't get my drawers out very good. And then the next thing I made was these fabric wall hangers, and I'm gonna put some stuff in them because I did pockets. I'm trying to get it so that it's not gonna come out anymore, but I tried to do it so that I could put stuff in it. So there's a pocket, and then there's a pocket, and then there's a big pocket down here. Yep. And then, so this And then this is a doily, and it's just different stuff from my stash. I made it out of muslin. Is that the right? Yeah. And I frayed the edges on everything, and that's what the handle's made out of. I put some white eyelets in from my stash. I tied a bow. These are Arctic cakes that I just hung from there. And like I said, this is a doily, and this is trim that I got from somebody, and I believe it was Becky. The doilies are from Craft Supplies for You. This trim is just from my stash. These are appliques. Some of them are from Craft Supplies for You, and I think the other ones are from my secret sister Donna, I believe. And then this is just another trim from my stash. I think that, if I remember correctly, I don't remember the name. I can't pronounce the name. It's like Sufua, I think. The Etsy shop. I got these. It was when Bonnie was still active, and she had all those dingle trims, so I got some. And then this is a rosette. I just put some pearls in the middle. And then this is another trim, I think from Sufua. And then this is just like a lace, a wide lace that I have, and I think that's from Craft Supplies for You. Same thing here. And then I just put this eyelet trim around the edge, and then this half back pearl trim from Craft Supplies for You underneath. So I've just got all different stuff. On these little, or these big half back pearls are from Craft Supplies for You too. So there's that wall hanger. And this one's pretty much the same. It's got like all the same trims from the same stores. The doilies are from Craft Supplies for You. I think I got this flower from Jackie Berry. And then this is just a little flower from my stash. And then this is a heart doily from Craft Supplies for You. This trim right here, I believe, I got that from Marla, but I'm not 100% sure. So it's got the same idea, pocket, and then a little pocket, and then some dingle trim, and then this ruffled trim, and half back pearls from Craft Supplies for You. There's the top, wide eyelets. There's Arctic cakes. So there's that, and I'll have pictures on my Facebook too, so you guys can go over there and check them out. And then I think I'll talk about this next. This is just an altered jar. I made this for Marla. Let's see, I'm trying to think. The first thing I did was okay, I put this trim down, and I don't have it out, but it's purple, and it's from Craft Supplies for You, and it's really wide. So I Mod Podged that on, and then I painted it with gesso. And then the pink that you see is like a ballet pink, and that's from Folk Art. And I just took my finger and kind of went over it so that it would hit all the recessed areas. I think it turned out really cool. So it's all gessoed, the lid and everything. And then this is just some burlap, and it used to be like a natural color, and I just used some of my Lindy sprays on it to kind of give it that brown look. And then this is a trim that was cut off another trim, and I think it was from Craft Supplies for You, and as well as the flat back pearls. And then there's some more of that trim. There's a piece of that muslin fabric. This is some paper from the Glitz Designs. And I used the Tim Holtz heart movers and shapers, yeah. And I just cut those hearts out and sewed sewed it to this piece of fabric that's here behind. This is a Prima wood piece and some pearl strands. These are Wild Orchid Craft flowers. These flowers right here I got from my friend Lori. And then this is a leaf that come off another flower bunch from Craft Supplies for You. And that's some more pearl strands right there. And then that flower's from Craft Supplies for You. And then my lid has the same trim and half back pearl trim. And I painted it. And then up here I took a styrofoam ball and cut it in half, and then I punched out these flowers like Miranda did on her cupcake. And I've made them before. I made a cupcake too, but this is the punch I use. I just cut out a whole bunch of flowers from the Glitz design paper, and I glued them together. Well, not glued. Well, yeah, I glued them together and stuck a pin through them and stuck them through the styrofoam. And then if you look, the middle, I didn't have any half-back pearls. That many, actually, so I just put some liquid pearls in the middle to kind of cover up the pin that I used. And then I stuck this little pin down the middle. It's a Tim Holtz. And I put this ephemera, is that what it is? From Tim Holtz in that little pin holder. So I think it's cute. I think it turned out really cute. I hope Marla likes it. And then, so that's a little bit different. The other thing that I made for Becky is this altered, I forget the name, I'm so terrible, spool. And I kind of did it all by scratch, so I cut the circles out of like paint jars or whatever that I have. And then I made this thing, let me show you. I'm going to put some goodies in there. So I made this all by hand, so it's not like perfectly round. Like this is just made out of cardstock and then paper on both sides to make it really sturdy. And then this is just the lid that I attached with like a cardstock hinge back here. And then after I put some of that muslin fabric and seam binding to use as a tie. And then there's the designer paper. I don't remember what I used on this one either. Sorry guys. I know it's a paper line that Becky really likes. And I think it's by My Mind's Eye. And then this is just some trim from Craft Supplies for You, and I put another pearl trim down the middle. And then this is just some flowers from my stash. And then I made some little perfume bottles on a filigree and some pearls. It's a Prima butterfly and a Prima like little flower bunch there. And then this is just trim from my stash. This is from Craft Supplies for You. This is a Tim Holtz pin with some little Tim Holtz dingles. This says Dream. And this actually opens. Hopefully I can get it to do it. So there's that. And I have it on some rosettes. And then the inside looks like this. And on the bottom has just some like little clear half back, I don't know what they are. I got it from somebody, but I used them as feet. It's really kind of cool. The inside I just tried to do kind of vintage. So I made like a little handmade flower here out of doilies and like little appliques. And then this is like a tiny pearl strand that I kind of wound up to make the flower center. I have some trim on top of this rosette trim. And then here I sewed this to some of that burlap. And then this is just a picture from that photo booth thing from Tim Holtz. This is just a button from my stash I put there. So I put the muslin down, or no, the burlap and then the muslin, and then I sewed the picture to it. And then here's a rosette, and it's got pearls on it and a little Prima wood piece. And then I put some dingle trim at the end. So that's my little altered spool. I kind of wanted to keep it simple. Okay. And then I will just set that aside and I'll put it together in a minute. And then the other thing that I made are these two wall hangers. They're supposed to be like altered frames, but I didn't have any altered frames, and I had this idea, so I wanted to try it. This one I made for Becky. I did the image transfer like Linda, Faith Chick 777 does, onto this canvas board that I had. She sews her edges, so that's what I did. I sewed mine and then glued it down with that that gel medium, the Prima Art Ingredients. And then I rubbed the, I did the image transfer where you rub the back of the paper off until you get the image that you put face down. So that's what I did there. And then I put down this stencil. It's a Prima stencil. And I believe, I put it down with texture paste. And then I sprinkled some Lindy's Stamp Gang embossing powder over it and heated it. And then I have this stamp from Prima that is kind of randomly stamped. And then I put gesso over everything. This is a little angel I got in a swap, and I don't remember from who. I'm sorry. I think it was Donna, if I remember right. And then this is a Prima frame, and that's a Maya Road Arrow Little Michael's paper doily. These are Wild Wicker Craft flowers, and some pearl strands from my stash. Another little pearl strand from Craft Supplies for You, as well as this. And then these are Prima wood pieces, and then this is trim from Craft Supplies for You. So there's that. Prima wood piece and a halfback pearl. So I hope that they like that. And then this one's pretty much the same. I did the same thing except I used this script stencil. And then this is a Michael's metal piece. I used little doilies on this one with a flower center. Prima frame, Wild Wicker Craft flowers. This is a Prima flower. That's a Prima metal butterfly. And then this is a little spool for my stash. I just put some baker's twine on. So I hope that this one's from Marla, and then this trim right here to hang it with is from Craft Supplies for You. So I hope Marla really likes it. I did the same thing with the image transfer. So there's those. And then the last thing I made for Becky is this book. And these I think are those, yeah, they're the books you get from Michael's. And I just altered it. I took out the elastic that was there and I put in this elastic lace trim. This is a Prima dangle, or jewelry piece. I just put some of this paper in there and put down the bauble. And then I put a bee that I had in my stash with some seam binding. And then the inside, I just covered the two insides there so she can use it. It's usable. And then she can just spread this back out, make it look good again. And then this is a Prima flower, as well as all of these under here. I think this is a petaloo. And then that's a Prima vine, Prima wood piece. And I just put notes on it from, I think this is a Tim Holtz. And then 2 halfback pearls. And then the Say It in Crystals, I think is this little swirly thing on the back. This I cut out of some cardstock I had and then paper punched it for the spine. So that's the paper I used on that. And then, let's see, the last thing that I made for Marla is this box, and I've had this done for a long, long time. This is Marion Smith, the Timekeeper paper, and what I did is I kind of pieced it together. I tried to paint this box, it's one of the bead boxes, and I tried to paint it with some Tim Holtz distress paint, so it's kind of flaking off, but I think it'll be okay. So I kind of pieced it together. Here on the top you can kind of see where I cut a whole bunch of pieces out and glued them to the top. That was hard to get them to stay on the plastic. Let me show you the inside really quick. There's the lid on the inside. So here I just took some really thin ribbon that I had in my stash and kind of covered the edges. And then I put, these are just little brads that I had in my stash, and I just cut the brad part off and used the top. Just to kind of give it a different look, because I couldn't put too much down on this lid, because then I couldn't close it. So that's the lid. I did put that 3D gloss gel over the papers to kind of protect them and hopefully keep them sticking to the box too, as well as I did that on the top. So here like I said, I pieced together the paper, and then these big gears are the Tim Holtz. Let's see, this one, and this one is all from the Tim Holtz die cuts. And this is a Michael's frame. And then that's that clock. I think that's from the Tim Holtz die too. And then these little gears, some are Tim Holtz, and some are just some that I had in my stash. And that's like a halfback pearl I stuck in the middle of that one. I did kind of different things. This is that lion head pole, but it doesn't have the pole on it. This is a Prima light. And this little girl is a La La Land, I think. I believe. Hopefully I don't get murdered for her if it's not. So I colored her with my Spectrum Noirs. And then I kind of tried to grunge her up a little bit with the Black Soot Distress ink. This is a little Prima Junkyard Finding. That's the ribbon that I used on the inside. I used it on these little goggles. And then I filled the goggles with glossy accents. And I put glossy accents on parts of her boots. So, and then her belt. I just have different things. I have the micro beads placed all over. These flowers are from Crafts Place for You, and I put micro beads on it. Another Prima piece. I just glued it all down and tried to make it look steampunky because I wanted it to kind of be different. Hopefully, I don't know, the girl, she kind of stands out a little bit, but not as bad as she was, since I've kind of tried to fix it and lighten it up because it was really dark. I used alcohol ink on it. I used, let's see, some rust alcohol ink, black soot, and just different things. Gesso, some green paint to kind of match her. So I hope Marla likes it, and I hope Becky likes her stuff too. And I am gonna go and get this all packed up. Thanks for sticking around with me for such a long video. Hopefully I will be back with some other little projects to share. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.